Hello everybody, this is Vasavi from At Home. In this video, let's do few word problems on quadratic equations. So the problem here is, you just need to frame the equation, the quadratic equation properly. Then the rest of it you can do as usual. Like you can either use your formula, or you can factorize, or you can use the least square method, whichever you are comfortable with. So let's see how to work it out. The first problem here says the sum of the reciprocal of Rahman's age in years 3 years ago and 5 years from now is 1/3, right? Find his present age. The age 3 years ago and 5 years from now is based only on the present age, right? So we have to take it is dependent on the present age. So let his present age be, I take his present age to be X. 3 years ago his age would be present age minus 3, right? 3 less than the present age. And 5 years after, his age would be X plus 5. 5 more than the present age, right? So now in the problem they want the sum of the reciprocals of Rahman's ages on these two periods. So the reciprocal of this would be like 1 over x minus 3 and 1 over x plus 5, right? And they say the sum of these. So you have to add them. In that case, your answer would be 1/3. So let's try to use a bit of algebra and let's solve this, okay? So what happens? I'm going to multiply throughout with the LCM. So LCM here is 3 times x minus 3 times x plus 5, okay? I'm going to multiply each term with this. So here the first term, when I multiply with this, my x minus 3 will get cancelled. So I would be left with 3 times x plus 5, okay? And the second term, when I multiply with this LCM, my x plus 5 would get cancelled. I'll be left with 3 times x minus 3, okay? And on my right, my 3 will get cancelled and I'll be left with x minus 3 times x plus 5, okay? Let me expand this. 3x plus distribution property, okay? 15 plus 3x minus 9 equals, use foiling here, okay? Just foil. So what happens? That becomes x times x is x squared. X times 5x is plus 5x. X minus 3 times x is minus 3x. And finally minus 3 times 5 is minus 15. Bring everything to one side so that you get a quadratic equation. So I'm just putting all in one side and put all the like terms together, okay? So what happens? I get the answer like this. Here I am going to add these two, so that is 3x plus 3x is 6x. 15 minus 9 is plus 6, right? Okay, and this side it would be x squared plus 2x minus 15. Now bring all to your right. So what happens? It becomes x squared minus 4x minus 21, okay, equals 0. So we got a quadratic equation now. Let's factorize or use the formula, whatever, and find the values of x. So for me, factorization is easy. So I can take this as 2 factors with x terms. So it would be x and x. I put x and x here. I need to get minus 21, right? So the possibilities are 1 times 21 or 3 times 7. So I think 3 times 7 will be okay. So this is going to be minus, right? Here it is minus 4, so that I'll give minus to the bigger number. So I take it as minus 3 and plus, minus 7 and plus 3 equals 0, okay? So equating both the factors to 0, I get my value as x equals 7 or negative 3. Okay, since it is x is the age, right? Therefore the present age, his present age is, you have assumed the present age to be x. Present age is x. I can't take the negative value as it is age, so I take the 7 as my answer. 7 years. Is it okay? So his present age is 7. Okay, let's continue with the second question now. The diagonal of a rectangular field is 60 meters more than the shorter side. If the longer side is 30 meters more than the shorter side, find the sides of the field. So I just take a rectangular field here. Okay, now they say the diagonal of the rectangular field is 60 more than the shorter side, right? So I just take this as diagonal and let this be the shorter side. So this is 60 more. So I can write it as x plus 60, okay? Or 60 plus x. My diagonal is 60 plus x. And if the longer side is 30 meters more than the shorter side. So if this is your longer side, it is 30 meters more than your shorter side. Did you get the picture? Find the sides of the field. We can use, since it is a rectangular field, you can use the Pythagorean formula here. A square plus b square equals c square, right? So it is a square is x square plus b square is 30 or x plus 30 the whole square, okay? X plus 30 the whole square equals x plus 60 the whole square. So let's expand this now. So this is going to be x squared, and this, when you expand, it is like a plus b the whole square formula. You just expand it, that is x squared plus 60x plus 900, right? Equals, this side same way, it is a plus b the whole square formula. So a square is your x square plus 2ab, that is plus 2 times x times 60, right? So that is 120x plus 3600. Bringing everything to one side, all terms to one side, it would be like your 1x square and 1x square here would get cancelled. So you will be having x squared minus 60x minus 2700. So bringing all the terms to your left, you get this. This is 60. This is 60x. Okay. Now, how do we do this? We need to factorize. You can use, if you want, you can use formula or the least square, anything as you like. So now here, I split the x square as x and x. So what are the possibility to get 2700 when you multiply two terms, and while adding you should get minus 60, right? So I take it as 90, minus 90, yeah, minus 90 and 30, right? Plus 30, yeah. Minus 90 and plus 30, when you multiply, you get minus 2700, and when you put them together, you get minus 60. So this is done. So I get my values as x equals 90 equated to 0. So I get x equals 90, or x can be equal to minus 30, right? X is the shortest side. So the side, the length of a side can't be negative. So this one is ruled out. So your length of the shortest side will be, we need to find three sides, okay, all the three sides. So the shortest side I have taken as x. side is equal to x, right? That is what we assumed earlier. So that will be 90, okay? 90 meters. Next will be your longer side, x plus 30, right? Is equal to x plus 30. So that is 90 plus 30. X is 90, so it is 90 plus 30. So your answer is 120. 120 meters. That is your longer side. And the diagonal. Diagonal is the hypotenuse, right? Is equal to, we have taken it as x plus 60, right? It is 60 more than the shortest side. So that's x plus 60. That is 90 plus 60. And it gives 150 meters. So your three sides are 90, 120 and 150 meters. Okay, so that is done. Now let's do the third problem. A train travels 360 kilometers at a uniform speed. If the speed had been 5 kilometers per hour more, it would have taken 1 hour less for the same journey. Find the speed of the train. Okay, let's take the speed of the train as the unknown value, you take it as x, right? Let the speed be x kilometers per hour. So the time taken, time is, the formula is distance by speed, right? Time taken would be distance over speed. So the distance here is 360 kilometers. So that is 360 over the speed you have taken now as x. This is the present speed and time, okay? And the condition given here is, for the same distance covered, if you had increased your speed by 5, so the new speed is going to be x plus the normal speed plus 5. You have increased the speed. So your new time, they say, the new time is equal to 1 hour less, 1 less than original time taken. So I'll write it like this. Original time taken minus 1. So let us put the value on this, minus 1, because it's 1 hour less. New time taken is equal to, time taken, I just write tt, is equal to the speed, the distance divided by the new speed, right? So that's x plus 5. Now equate this here in this formula. So the new time taken here is 360 over x plus 5 will be equal to the original speed, which was 360 over x minus 1. So we got it. Let's solve for it. So I'm going to multiply throughout by the LCM. Multiply by the LCM. So here the LCM is x times x plus 5. To remove the denominator, we normally multiply each term with its LCM. So here when I multiply with the LCM, my x plus 5 will get cancelled with the denominator. And I am left with x. So that is 360 times x, which is 360x, is equal to, this side, the x will get cancelled and I would be multiplying 360 times x plus 5, right? 5, okay, minus, and since it is minus, I just put this in big bracket, okay? 1 times, you're going to multiply this with x times x plus 5, right? The LCM. Let's expand this. So that equals 360x is equal to, use the distributive property here. So that will be 360x plus 360 times 5 is going to be 1800, right? Minus x squared minus 5x. Okay? Now get everything to one side, bring it to the left. So you get x squared. The 360x will get cancelled. So this is going to be x squared plus 5x minus 1800. Again, yeah, here's the quadratic equation. So if you have reached here, the rest is easy since you have already practiced how to factorize. So my factors would be, I split the x into two factors, and the factors would be, I take it as plus 45 and minus 40. So plus 45 and minus 40 will give you plus 5, the middle term, and when you multiply you get this 1800 minus 1800 equal to 0. Now equate the x to 0, the two factors to 0. So you get x equals minus 45 or x equals 40, right? Since x is the speed, you cannot have the speed in negative. So I say the speed of the train would be, speed is equal to 40 kilometers per hour. Okay? So that is what is asked. They have asked you the speed. Find the speed of the train. So the speed of the train is 40 kilometers per hour. You have yet another problem here. So this is the difference of squares of two numbers is 180. Okay, so let the two numbers be x and y. So they say the difference of the squares of these two numbers. So that would be x squared minus y squared is equal to 180. That is what is given here. Okay, this is one equation they have given, and then they say the square of smaller number. So here the smaller number is y, right? Because you have taken away the y from x. So that means your y should be the smaller number. In the second statement they say the square of smaller number is 8, right? 8 times the larger number. So the square of smaller number is 8 times the larger number. So it is 8x. Got it? This is equation 2. Now I am going to plug in equation 2 in equation 1. Substituting equation 2 in 1. Okay? What happens? I am going to replace the y square by 8x. So I get x squared minus, for y square I am going to put 8x. Okay, the y square over here I am replacing it with 8x equals 180. Bring them to one side, you get a quadratic equation. So you are done, half of the problem is done. Now you know how to solve it. Just find the factors. So this would be 10 and 8, right? So I just make it like I split the x like this. And for this, I would take it as minus 10 plus 8, okay? So that gives minus 8 when added, and when multiplied you get minus 180. Equate the x to 0, so you get x equals 10 or x equals minus 8. Okay, you have got your x, two values for x. You need to find two numbers, not just one number. So x can be, since it is a number, they didn't say it is a positive number or negative number. So it can be plus or minus. When x is 10, your y would be, you can substitute in second equation, okay? You know that y square equals 8x. Y square equals 80. X is 10, right? So it is 80. So you can say that y would be square root of 80. Okay, plus or minus square root of 80. So, and when x is negative 8 minus 8, your y square will be minus 64, right? So your y would be square root of negative 64. So that is a complex number. You get a complex number or it is not possible. So let's not go on to the complex number. So you can say your x is 10, one number is 10 and the other number y is equal to square root of 80. I can make it like 4 times 5, right? So that would be 4 root 5, okay? So these are the answers. Hope you all understood these problems. Take care. Bye.